Ian Bayek, it's me, and well, it's another episode of what I have watched, and there's nine here. Okay, so let's get on with it, because you know me, I go on a bit too much sometimes. Uh, so the first one is this one. It is the Peanut Butter Falcon from 2019. Now, this was sent to me and Del Boy for the live stream we did on Wednesday by Jamie of Muckman Movies. Great guy, absolutely wonderful, fantastic. And he's from Leeds, Bayek lad. And he was our special guest on my live stream, and he was great, absolutely great. Check his channel out because it is absolutely superb, absolutely wonderful. But let's get on with this. He sent this film. So this is directed by Tyler Nielsen and Michael Schwartz. It stars Shia LaBeouf as Tyler. He was known for Halls 2003. He was also in iRobot 2004, Constantine 2005, Disturbia 2007. He was in the Transformer films 2007, 2009, 2011. Yes, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull from 2008, which I know isn't that well thought of, but he's in that. He was in Nymphomaniac 2013, which is one of Lars von Trier's films. Yes, interesting, that one. He was in Megalopolis 2024, and he was in Solvable. I think that's Solvable 2025, which last year. And then we've got Dakota Johnson, who plays Eleanor. Few films she was involved in. Social Network 2010. Black Mass 2015. Suspiria. Yeah, the remake. Yes, do you remember? That's why just for a second I thought, huh? Yeah, it's the remake, of course, 2018 remake, which is pretty good. It is. It's actually quite good. She was in that. She was also in Persuasion in 2022. Daddy-O 2023. Verity this year 2026, which is a psychological thriller. Then we've got John Hawkes, who plays Duncan. He was in DOA 1988, Flesh and Bone 1993, Congo 1995. Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Yes, it's a follow-up there, that horror franchise of 1998, that one is. He was in The Perfect Storm 2000, Miami Vice 2006, American Gangster 2007. He was in Martha, Mary, May, Marlene 2011, Contagion 2011, and End of Sentence 2019. And then there's an appearance by Bruce Dern, who's really good in this. It's just sort of almost, it's a bit longer than a cameo kind of appearance. Great. I mean, what a films. Angermai 1968, Support Your Local Sheriff 1969. They shoot horses, don't they? There was a song called that. 1969. I think Jane Fonda's in that one. The Cowboys 1971. Black Sunday 1977. The Burbs 1989. Monster 2003. The Hateful Eight 2015. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 2019. Oh, these Tarantino obviously likes him. He was in Last Shootout, 2021. Old Dads, 2023. Bad Men Must Bleed, 2025. Absolutely, just some great films. That's only just some of them. And I have to mention Zach Gottesgan, who plays Zach. He is great. Absolutely great in this film. What more can I say? He is just great. He makes the film, really, as well. So this film is about a Down syndrome boy called Zach, who's in this institution. He spends a lot of his day watching wrestling. He loves this old wrestling. The same video keeps repeating and repeating. And I suppose with kind of encouragement, he just one day decides to go, and off he goes. He's only in his pants. He just goes out of the window, and off he goes on this wonderful adventure. And this adventure is just full of great characters. We've got Shia LaBeouf's character Tyler, who is somebody who is not in a good place. I don't think. He's missing his brother who died. He is kind of lashing out in many ways at the world, doing not some good things, bad company, doing bad things. So that is interesting already. He comes across Zach, and it's one of those films where they start to build a relationship, an opposites kind of thing. Zach has an effect on Tyler, and it's great. It's one of those relationships. But the other thing I must bring in is Dakota Johnson. She plays Eleanor. She's been sent out basically to find Zach and take him back. We get that sort of dynamic then together, all these together. And it's brilliant watching them overcome various things. There is a sort of, you often get antagonists, and you've got people who are after Tyler, some bad things. You're always going to get that, and that is a nice bit going on in the background. But generally, this film just takes you to a wonderful place of a feel-good movie, because that's what it is. Let's put the dab on it. It's a feel-good movie, and I'm so glad that Jamie sent this, and I was able to watch it. And the title intrigued me. I thought, what? What is this about? But it becomes quite clear it's all to do with the wrestling. Yes. The next film is Carlton Brown of the FO. I think this is a Spanish version, so you're wondering what the hell does all that mean. But it don't matter, we'll get over that. It's 1959. I know it's had quite a fairly recent Blu-ray release. It's directed by Roy Bolton, written and directed by Roy Bolton and Jeff Dell. Roy Bolton comes part of the Bolton brothers. They did films together. They did films separately. Brilliant of that period in time. It stars Terry Thomas, of course. Terry Thomas, what an actor. He's so British. He was in Private Progress at 56, Lucky Jim at 57, The Naked Truth at 57 as well. The film that I love him in, I think it's one of his greatest films, his film, I think, I'm Alright Jack, 1959. He is superb in that with Peter Sellers. What a film. Always go on about I'm Alright Jack, but it's great. He was in Killer Cure, 1962. It's a mad world, 1963. He was in that one. Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines, 1965. Monte Carlo, A Bus, 1969. They go on, don't they, these films? And the last remake of BoJack, 1977. Oh, also, I must mention him. He was in the two Dr. Phibes films. Vincent Price, 1971-72. Also, we've got Ian Bannon, who plays young King Loris. Doomwatch, 1972. Fright, 1971. Brilliant films. Is in Sweeney as well. Gorky Park, 1983. Sweeney's 1977. Hope and Glory, which is an absolutely amazing film, 1987. And he was in Braveheart, 1995. And of course, we've got Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers, just so many great films. I love him in I'm All Right, Jack, which I already mentioned. I think he's brilliant. Pink Panther is so well known in all those Pink Panther films. Doctor Strangelove, 1967. Oh, wow. Being There, one of his last films. I think it was the last film he made. What a brilliant career Peter Sellers has. His role is not that big in this film, but it's there, and it's when he's on screen, you just love him. So what is this about? And basically, Terry Thomas is playing this stupid, really lazy kind of upper-class twit character that he's so good at. He's being charged with finding out what's going on because in the Foreign Office, they've discovered that we have this control over this island called Galladaria. I can't say it. Galladaria. Yeah, that's it. It's an obscure kind of island. They have to look on a map to find out where it is. And apparently, the Russians are getting interested in it. So they've got to sort out this what's going to happen, and this new king has got to go over there and become the king. And that's played by Ian Bannon, who's just been selected. There he is as a king for some reason. He's got to go there, and he decides, yeah, I want to be king. Why not? Yeah, why wouldn't you? But yeah, it's just one of these wonderful films. You can't help but smile and love it, and it's great. It's a farce in many ways, but I think you'll love it. If you love Peter Sellers, even though his role's not in, but Terry Thomas is just so funny. Brilliant. The next film is The Killers from 1946. It's directed by Robert Siodmak, who directed Son of Dracula in 1943. The Spiral Staircase, 1945. Devil Strikes at Night, 1957. Escape from East Berlin, 1962. Custer of the West, 1967. It's a short story based... it was a short story written by Ernest Hemingway, and that's who they based this story on. A screenplay is by Anthony Vayler, and the cast, superb. We've got Burt Lancaster, who plays the character called Swede. Burt Lancaster, there's so many. Again, what films do you choose? I'll choose Apache, 1954. Veracruz, 1954. Trapeze, 1956. Judgment at Nuremberg, 1961. I think perhaps my favourite in all these, and a lot of people, is Birdman of Alcatraz, 1962. Is in that. I mean, it just go on and on. The Swimmer, 1968, is well known for. Zulu Dawn, Grant, I know that in the dark. He's in that. I didn't realise he's in the Zulu Dawn, which isn't a great film, but it's enjoyable. Atlantic City as well, 1980, which I know. Local Hero, it's not a big role, he's in that one. Even Field of Dreams, yeah, it's his last film, 1989. Burt Lancaster just epitomises so much of a great Hollywood actor. You can't help but think, wow. We've also got Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner is a great actor. She plays Kitty. She again epitomises that sort of Hollywood. She's a real beauty. She was in A Showboat, 1951. Snows of Kilimanjaro, 1952. On the Beach, 1959. Brilliant film. She's in that. Night of the Iguana, 1964. Earthquake. Yes, she was in Earthquake, 1974. Cassandra Crossing, 1976. She was in Priest of Love, 1981. There's just a few. She's in a lot of films. This is great. This is a film noir, brilliant film, and the film starts with Burt Lancaster knowing that the killers are going to come in and kill him, and that's what they do. So the film starts with the death of the main character, but then we go back to see how he's become in this position. And we get the tale of he was a fighter who had to give up fighting because he broke his hand, couldn't fight anymore after that. And then we get his where he gets involved with criminals, and he goes in prison, and then it just continues on and on. We find out why he's in this position of being pursued by these killers. One of the killers is actually a familiar face. Well, it was to me, and I thought, oh, who's this? It's William Conrad, who played Cannon in Frank Cannon in the TV series that I watched. I remember watching. I think it was a Quinn Morning production. Yeah, this film is just great. It's way it's told in these flashbacks, and you build up the thing. It looks absolutely fantastic. The way it's filmed, it really is a great film noir film. I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. The next one is, I'm continuing my look at the Frankenstein films of Hammer. And now we're on to The Evil of Frankenstein from 1964. This is directed by Freddie Francis, who directed things like Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, 1965, Anthology Horror there, The Skull, 1965, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, 1968, Trog, yes, he directed Trog, 1970, Tales That Witness Madness, 1973, Craze, 1973, oh, and the brilliant The Ghoul, Jacqueline Pierce, absolutely love The Ghoul, 1975, I should have also mentioned Paranoiac, 1963, Oliver Reed's in that one, brilliant, absolutely fantastic films. This one, of course, stars Peter Cushing, as usual, as the Baron, another take on the Baron, and this is wonderful. I should mention Kiwi Kingston plays the monster. As you can see, we're back to more looking like the Karloff monster. Yes, you can see here straight away. So we started off with Christopher Lee, who looked more like the sort of the monster, and then it changed. We got sort of more normal, kind of just a person playing the creation, and then we're back to this. You can see it's full monster. This is a film that doesn't. It's its own. It's got its own background. It tells you about how Frankenstein created this creature, and that's good. It sort of creates its own version of this of Frankenstein, so it's no connection with the other two we've had before. Absolutely loved it. It's highly recommended. It looks great. The laboratory, just everything about it. Peter Cushing is great. He's not a womanizer in this one now. We've also got the heroine is not the busty one. She's in fact this girl who's deaf, and she got sort of an affinity for the sort of monster as well. And it's a really good role, I think, for her. She's brilliant in it, and just adds something different, I think, to the mix, and it's really good. A very sympathetic character as well, I think. Yeah, so there's that one there. Next one is, well, it's a sci-fi film. It's called The Making of Mr. Soames. It's from 1970. It's directed by Alan Cook. Stars Terence Stamp, who, well, 1965, The Collector, brilliant film. One of my all-time favourite films, Far From the Maddening Crowd, 1967. Paul Cow, 1967. And of course, I think he's really well known in terms of Superman, 1978. Superman 2, 1980. Brilliant as a villain in that one. Absolutely. Wall Street, 1987. Alien Nation, 1988. He was in Star Wars The Phantom Menace, 1999. And a much later one in his career, Last Night in Soho, 2021, which is absolutely brilliant. I love Last Night in Soho. What a film. And it's got Robert Vaughn in. And when I say Robert Vaughn in, I think, wow, I love him. Whatever he does, always famous from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., but in so many other great things. He was in The Magnificent Seven, of course, 1960. People might forget that, but there he was in 1960 doing The Magnificent Seven. He's also, for me, the voice in Demon Seed, 1977. A film that gets mixed reviews. Not everybody's really into it. I like him as the voice of the computer. Julie Christie's in that one. It's a bit of a controversial film, but I like it. And then we've got a sort of British actor stalwart in Nigel Davenport, who was in the original brilliant Peeping Tom from 1960. This came out before Psycho and is an absolute masterpiece. Yeah, I'm going to say it. It is. It's so groundbreaking, that film. Of course, he was in A Man for Seasons, 1966. Villain, brilliant film, 1971. Richard Byrne, Phase 4, the sci-fi film, great, 1974. Zulu Dawn, well, yeah, I like Zulu Dawn. Yeah, he's not as good as original Zulu. He's in that, 1979. And Greystoke, the Tarzan film, 1984. So this film is about Mr. Soames, who was born in a coma. And now, after 30 years, they're waking him up. But his brain will be like that of a baby. Therefore, they're going to have to quickly get his brain going and learn. He's got to learn so many things over a period of time quickly. Yes, it's also been filmed as a reality TV show. So from 1970, this is interesting, isn't it? They're looking at making this linked with reality TV. Yes, what's not to go wrong? Yes, this is really good. I love this film. It's brilliant, and I think Terence Stamp gives a brilliant performance. You can't help but think, wow, he's giving such a great performance. Yeah, I recommend this one. I recommend it. I think it's got a Blu-ray release. Great film. I know I always mention this film. This is one I love. You know how much I love this, Maxine. I couldn't resist. I have to watch it again. I don't know how many times. It's Maxine from 2024, part of the X trilogy, which is a brilliant trilogy. You know, you got X, you got Pearl. Pearl is superb. Don't get me wrong. Maxine, not a lot of people don't rate this one as high. They think it's the weakest. Me, I love this one. I think it's great. Mia Goth is absolutely fantastic. It's just absolutely great. It's set in the 1980s, and therefore I'm on board already. It is great. Her character, Maxine Miller, is now in this. She's made it as a porn star. Yes, she's a big porn star, but like so many porn stars, she's looking to get taken seriously more, and therefore horror films. Yes, that's what she's going to do. Yeah, brilliant. I have to say, Mia Goth, I really think has been in some great films, and Infinity Pool, which was in 2023, is a film I'm sure I'm going to be looking at over the coming weeks. She was in that, and she's actually going to be in The Odyssey as well from this year. So interesting films. We've got Elizabeth Debicki, who plays the director. She was in Tenet 2021, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 2023, and she plays the director, an English director of this horror film. And then we've got Kevin Bacon, who's playing a bad guy, basically a very disturbing kind of character who is not a nice character at all, and he's in this. So it's set in the 80s, I said, and we've got a background of a serial killer. These bodies are also turning up, which seem to be part of a satanic cult, the way they are. We've got images, and we're seeing particularly that Maxine's father was a bit of a preacher as well. Interesting, and this all links up as it will do. And Maxine, I think it's a great film. Absolutely love it. Mia Goth's performance is great. She's just great in it, and she's made it, and she's got a confidence about her, a swagger about her, and she is great. She plays this so well. Fantastic. The next film is Phenomena, Dario Argento film. Dario Argento just produced really one of the great masterpieces, which is Suspiria, but this one is very, very good. And Argento, Deep Red is great, 1975. He did all these Giallo films. Inferno, 1980. Tenebrae, of course, 1982. Opera, which I love. Opera I've talked about. I just think Opera was a great film. It really was. And then we've got Jennifer Connelly making a debut. She went on to be in like The Rocketeer, 1991, Dark City, 1988, Hulk, 2003, Spider-Man, Homecoming, 2017. Just some great films. There's just a few I mentioned there. And of course, we've got Donald Pleasence in it. I'm on board already. Donald Pleasence pops up everywhere in every sort of film. What's Donald Pleasence well known for? I think now he made a real name for himself as Dr. Loomis in the Halloween films, but he's just such a great actor in all sorts of things. Of course, for me, he was Blofeld, You Only Live Twice, in Bond film, my favourite Bond film. Is just great. And also I'm going to mention the chimpanzees Tanga as well. Another star of the film. Brilliant. And really, the chimpanzees is absolutely fantastic. Jennifer Connelly's character, she's got this psychic power where she can control insects. And Donald Pleasence is an expert in insects, so you've got that. You've also got the fact that Jennifer Connelly is another boarding school. She's arriving to the boarding school. And of course, the person in charge of the boarding school is the headmistress, who's a bit of a dodgy character. She's also got this sort of hidden away, deformed child as well, which has another aspect to her. And she's also, a bit of a bad one. You don't want to cross her, and you don't want to cross her at all. No, this is really good. Really enjoyed it. It's got all the elements, and the filming, it looks absolutely fantastic. Argento's style, his direction, the colours, all cinematography, everything about this is amazing. Then the next film we are going to talk about is Emperor 2012. It's an American-Japanese historical drama. It's written by Vera Blasi and David Klass. It's directed by Peter Weber, who directed The Stepford Wives from 2001. Girl with a Purple Earring, 2003. Hannibal Rising, 2007. It stars Tommy Lee Jones as MacArthur. Because Tommy Lee Jones, such a great actor, so many films. Fugitive, 1993. The Client, 1994. Natural Born Killers, 1994. Because Batman Forever, brilliant in 1995. He was in the Men in Black films, 1997, 2002, 2012. No Country for Old Men, which is an absolute classic. Lincoln, 2012. And I could go on. There's even loads more about one. We've got Matthew Fox, plays Bonifellas, well known really for Lost, playing the Doctor, Jack Shepherd in that. A couple of films he was involved in was World War Z, 2013, and Bone Tomahawk, which is a great horror western, 2015. This film is set after the war in Japan, and it's an investigation into the war crimes. Matthew Fox's character has been given the job to find out, was the Emperor involved in the war crimes? Now, Matthew Fox's character, he knows a lot about Japan because he fell in love with a Japanese woman. It was played by Eriko Hatsune, and she's beautiful. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. We see her in flashbacks about their relationship. Sadly, he learns that, he's looking for her, but she died. But anyhow, he has to find out, was the Emperor involved? And I suppose the great thing of everybody's tradition with the Emperor in China, it's the cultural aspect, respect, obedience to what the Emperor is. And it's found out that the Emperor, I suppose what saves the investigation in many ways, it was him that called for the surrender, and that wouldn't have happened without the Emperor. So they work on that assumption. Great film, absolutely loved it. And finally, we've got The Nanny from 1965, which is a psychological Hammer thriller. It's written by Jimmy Sangster, who, if you know Hammer, was very much involved in writing a lot of Hammer things. It's directed by Seth Holt, who directed Nowhere to Go, 1958, Taste of Fear, 1961, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, which he was involved in, but he didn't finish because, sadly, he died of a heart attack. This film stars Bette Davis, who, well, what an iconic actress she is, pure Hollywood, and what an amazing long career, right from the films like Jezebel, 1936, and Dark Victory, 1939, what a film that is. All About Eve, of course, 1950, The Star, 1952, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962, absolutely brilliant. Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte, 1964, The Anniversary, 1968, Burnt Offerings, I've got that in my collection, brilliant, she's in that one, 1976, she was in Death on the Nile, 1978, and then she was in, I think, Disney, Watcher in the Woods, 1980, also Wicked Stepmother was her last film in 1989. What an iconic character. We got Wendy Craig, Room at the Top, 1959, The Servant, crikey, The Servant, what a film that is. Brilliant film, 1963. But she's really well known for a lot of TV comedies. There were so many. Butterflies, I think, was one that she was really well known for, 1978. And also, ironically, she did a TV drama series called Nanny. Oh, yeah, 1981 to 1983. I should also mention William Dix, who plays Joey. So this film, it's about Joey, who's a disturbed 10-year-old boy who is basically been sent away. He's returned home from this residential school, and after being blamed for the death of his younger sister, but he believes it's Nanny who's the deadly threat. He really does. But will people believe him? Will people believe this boy who doesn't look as somebody who who is seems a very disturbed boy, basically, and that is the premise, really. Nanny's reliable. Is she though? This is a brilliant film. Absolutely loved it. It's an outstanding performance, I think, by Bette Davis and the rest of the cast. I really think it stands out. Hammer producing this kind of film again just shows you what a great studio Hammer were. They weren't just all about the gothic horror. And Bette Davis, you can't argue when she's playing a role like this. And that's it. I've gone on too long again. Anyhow, yes, that's it. So, if you've liked this video, please give this video a like. If you give the video a like, it gets it out onto YouTube. Hopefully other people might enjoy it then. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. I'll always respond to them. And if you're new to my channel, why not subscribe? If you subscribe, we'll let you know when I put out any videos. And also, look in the playlist. You can see all the previous reviews I've done of all sorts of things. Just have a look, films, TV series, often with a retro feel. Yes. So that's it. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.